personal. I say things, some things I shouldn't say, but I have made amends with myself and have come to the realization that I wouldn't argue with someone who's washing my windows on my car. I wouldn't argue with a bum on the street who needs $1. I would just give him $1. Or I'd buy him something to eat. Maybe I wouldn't give him money for alcohol or drugs. And some of the people out here are those type of people, yet I give them the time of day. That's my fault.
Well, you know, Mike, what you said is very true, though, about the nostalgia and the history of it, man. I'm going to explain to you why. Because I can remember being a young child, as far back as my brain could take me, Mike, and I used to like to climb that high chair, man, just so I could squeeze that big old silver lollipop, just to hear the radio make a funny sound throughout the house. You know, little did I know it was a Browning back then. But anyway, yo, the funny thing about it, Mike, is that I can remember, you know, when I used to turn that little dial and, you know, growing up and when I was a little, you know, adolescence and till I started hitting puberty and shit. But I could see how, you know, wow, what happened to the CB radio? Like, I didn't listen to it for 2 years, and now it's like a 3-ring circus. It used to be such a nice, you know, and I'm talking about, Mike, I'm talking about the early 70s, you know what I'm trying to say to you here?
Yeah, 10-4. No, you're right. When I got on in 74, it was a lot different than it is now. In the 80s, it really took off. Oh man, mid-80s was wild till like the mid-90s. 70s, I had the most fun though. Browning Mark II and a 50-watt linear. Nobody had linears really back in the day. They all had Barker and Williamson's, Globe, Electronics, Heat Kits, E.F. Johnson's. They had the dinosaur radios, man. You know, he was the first kid on the block with a radio. And a Browning Mark II to beat. Didn't have much of a ping, but it pinged a little bit. Didn't have the audio that the radios have today, but I did rather well with it. And I came over everything. Answering machines, phones, TVs. I had my Johnson 500. I was coming over toasters. The old man across the street's hearing aid. You name it, I came over it.
Hey, Mikey, you must have me by a decade, because my memory takes me back, man. It was Brownings, Trams, Presidents, Sonars, Lafayettes. I'm going to tell you, Mike, the first base station I personally purchased myself for my own, you know, without my daddy giving it to me, without inheriting it from one of the cops or the transit workers, you know what I mean? One that I actually just went out and purchased myself. It was a second-hand used radio, used base station. And I wanted it because I listened to it enough. And I wanted to be able to roll in there on the sneak tip, put my money on the table, and walk out with that radio. Mike, guess what radio this was?
I'm going to guess a Sonar FS-23. That's my guess.
I don't know, you got great expectations. No, Mikey, it was a Shakespeare Fortress base station.
Say again?
It was a Shakespeare Fortress.
Never heard of it.
Mikey, Google it. Google it, put it in CB Tricks, do whatever. It was a Shakespeare Fortress base station. This thing was tuned up, man. This thing had, yo, the audio coming out of this thing was so loud and so, look, out of everything I listened to the 2 years prior to that, listening to this radio, it was the loudest, clearest thing on the airwave. And it had the upper and lower channels in it, which I thought I was God back then, you know, because if you had those in the early 70s, hey, you know, look, either you had something with frequencies or you had presidents.
Yeah, you're right. I've had many a Siltronics Viffo. And then there was another type of Viffo. I can't remember the name of it. Siltronic. UFOs, yeah. I had a Siltronics or a Glen on my Browning Mark III, and that was before the 40 channels came out. I had it a wide band spread. I had it tuned to like 35 middle band or 30 middle band. I don't remember what. Yeah, we were talking on the uppers. And then when 40 channels came out, you know, it was cool. You wanted to disappear. You went in between channels. You went below. You went above 40. I don't go above 40 now. I go into high 29 megahertz. It's a lot of good people out there. It's not the trash you have out here. It's a shame, though. Why can't we all just get along?
Well, Mike, I have a lot of friends up there, not in the immediate local area, but elsewhere, and I always keep ears to a lot of listening. But because of how I present myself, I never ever venture outside my presentation bandwidth. I used to a lot. When I'm mobile, yes, but when I'm bass, I have a reputation to live up to, one that I have not soiled yet. Because, like that lady said a couple of months ago, I always wanted to be for Richie Radio and not for Donnie Jr.
410. Alright, I spent my 5 minutes of fame on the radio. I certainly will be back later. I feel a little tired today. I was supposed to go work out tonight, but I got lazy. I admit it. Wife was making dinner. Smelled so good. I was like, do I go to the gym for an hour and a half? Or do I sit down at the table? Oh, man. All right. Catching it short, Richie. Rubin, if you're still out there waving a hand, man, you're good people, Rubin. Can't wait to talk to you. 10-4. On Sidemans, good buddy, on Sidemans. I had to change my FCC license to a P.O. box. Yeah, got that bad out of here. Had to change it to a P.O. box, not my address. It's crazy. Alright, catch you people in the short.
You know what? I was wondering about Mr. Rubin too, but I'll get to him in a second. You go ahead, man. Go get that munchies. And if I promise, man, I promise that when I try to publish that new brand of cookbooks, I will label them the Mike Action Belly Books.
Appreciate it, Rich.
You're welcome, sir. Mr. Rubin, you know what? I'm not gonna lie to you, sir. If you're still there, man, I almost had you for lunch today.
I'll be there. Okay, no problem. All right there, Mike. 73s. No problem. Richie, I'll talk to you a little later. The bell's ringing on my side. That means something. So I'll talk to you later. 73s. 425 clear.
Hurry up. Your video gate, guys. I don't know what I'll call it. Just look at your watches. You'll get it later. Peace. Now, why you always want to bring my older brother into it? Don't you think he gives me a headache enough sometimes? Just leave my older brother out of it, okay? Because I can assure you, if he didn't want me in your rear hole right now, I won't be here. I said I'm a fast talking, slow walking, needle dancing, skim shooting, audio slinging, second son. I repeat, second son.